Welcome to the Blerdsnerds podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Blerdsnerds podcast. I'm Shannon.
I'm James.
And I'm Jaja.
And we are back after one of the greatest weekends in nerd history. We are here.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, for sure, one of the greatest weekends. And if you haven't guessed it, we're going to be talking about Spider-Man No Way Home came out this last weekend. And I don't want to get too much into it now, but we'll be giving our in-depth review in just a few minutes, guys. But before we get into that, let's just do our normal things, nerdy things that we've done this week besides Spider-Man, because we know that everyone here saw Spider-Man.
I'll kick us off. So I watched Hawkeye. I started playing Sonic. So after the trailers and stuff, I was kind of excited about it. And I was like, man, I should go and play the old Sonic games. So first I had to hunt it down. Like, where can I play Sonic? Went to Nintendo, like on the Switch first, of course. That Nintendo Switch Online. So they have like old school consoles on there that you could play virtually, but it wasn't up there. You had to pay for it, of course. But I forgot I had downloaded Sonic Mania on my PlayStation. So it was one of the PS Plus free games sometime during like the summer or something. So I can play it free on PlayStation, oddly enough. So yeah, I've been playing Sonic. What else did I do? Jaja mentioned some nice words.
Wait,
I like
which Sonic you talking about? The newest one?
Sonic Mania. So it's like a packaging of all the older Sonics.
Okay, all right. Because they got a new Sonic out. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, I may have to check
But
that
it's
out
like
too then.
Sonic Colors or something like that, or Sonic. I forget what it's called.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, and then so you mentioned that One Piece game for Xbox. So since I have Game Pass, I downloaded that. I haven't started playing it yet, but I did play I started playing Halo Infinite campaign mode.
Nice.
Brought back all kind of nostalgia.
Yes. How does it feel?
I forgot the grunts were so like trolly. Like they have so many quips and stuff. Like it was kind of funny. I was like, oh man, I'm not used to NPCs like having commentary and stuff like that. Like when you
Like
shoot
being
them,
hilarious.
Yeah. And like they'll teabag you and stuff too. So like I don't know if that was an actual
Wait, what? What is this
like
word?
an Easter egg?
What?
This is Halo.
But wait, what
you know
did you
the
say?
little grunts, like the little round grunts that be running around with the squeaky voices.
I don't
Like
know
when they
anything
see
about
you
Halo.
coming. Oh, forget it.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Some of the enemies, like if they kill you, they'll come crouch over your body. Very disrespectful in first person shooters.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said that, but I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
they do. So yeah, that's been pretty interesting so far. So I get to play it on PC since Game Pass games work on PC. So it looks pretty good on my PC. I have a decent build, not the best, but it works. And then I went to Luau Mayan Foundation's gala Friday.
Yes, I know you went there. I was about to ask you about that as well. How was that?
Yeah, that was really good. So it was a talk on how we can empower refugees through tech, and then how we can invest in their education. So things like giving them free equipment, not just like leftovers and hand-me-downs. And then space, they're going to be funding, supplying different refugee camps a bunch of different equipment, some pretty top of the line computers for them to be using to get involved in STEM. And he also has a partnership with Unity 3D, the company Unity that he initially made to create his game. So they're partnering up with him as well to help teach any refugees game development. So yeah, it was a really good gala. There are some pictures, official pictures. I don't have them just yet. So once Luau sends them over or they publish them on the site, then we can post them on the page.
Nice.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that does sound cool. And again, I heard a lot of good feedback about that interview last week. So we just want to say thank you to Luau again.
Yeah, huge thank you.
Yeah, it was great.
Shout out to Luau. That was a dope interview.
And if you haven't listened to it and you're listening to this, make sure that you go back after and listen to that, because it was one of our, it has to be up there in one of our better episodes. So make sure you listen to that. What about you, Jaja? What have you done besides see Spider-Man?
Man, I'm like, it's a busy season at my job, so not much.
Oh yeah.
I'm playing a lot of Pokemon Go, I'll tell you that. This weekend is actually Community Day weekend, and there's a big holiday event going on. So there's a lot of special spawns going on out there. So I know a lot of people who are playing that this weekend. What else have I been doing? I watched Hawkeye. I saw Spider-Man. I haven't really got to Halo yet, man. Like it's been that real at my job that like I haven't even touched the Xbox. Like it's on, but it's haven't really played nothing. Um, yeah, but that's it. Have I watched anything? No, not really. I don't think I've watched anything besides so far.
All right, what did I do? I saw Spider-Man, obviously. Again, I watched the beginning.
Can I
yeah, go
mention
ahead.
real quick
Go ahead.
that I did not have any trouble getting tickets for Spider-Man.
Wow.
I was able to. I didn't even do it right after the podcast. I think I did it the next day, and they had tickets, for Friday and Saturday, multiple showings.
Wow, look at you. Maybe people in Florida don't like Spider-Man that much. I don't know. Because here in New York, like all the theaters were like sold out. And like I was in the side on the the side seats that are not in the middle.
Yeah.
I was sitting over there at 12 o'clock noon.
So, and when I went, I had pretty like good seats, like in the middle or whatever. And two of the seats to my right were completely empty. So I got to like, at least lean on that side. I had a little extra space. So.
Wow. James, was your theater packed? Or did you have empty seats in your theater too?
There were a couple empty seats, but it wasn't like packed to the brim. Yeah. Actually, so T-Mobile Tuesday, they do like discounts. So they sent like you could get Spider-Man tickets for $4. And I was like kind of sick because I was like, man, I already bought my ticket. So like just out of curiosity, I looked and I was like, maybe I'll get a refund and use the $4 ticket. But they had extra seats. But I didn't go through all that trouble because then I would have had to get refunded it and then get a new seat. So I just got my same ticket. But yeah, I looked at the seating charts and then there were still seats available so I went Thursday. But yeah, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, there were still seats available.
Wow. I guess maybe it's a New York thing. I think everyone in New York went to see Spider-Man this weekend. That must be what it was. But yeah, I saw Spider-Man.
There's that many people in New York.
That's true. I saw Spider-Man on Friday at noon. What else did I do? Yeah, I watched the beginning and the end of Hawkeye because I fell asleep in the middle. So I have to watch it again. But the most important part was the ending, which I saw. So I saw that. You guys can still talk about it without me. It's fine. And then Agretzko season 4 came out. Do you guys know what Agretzko is? Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out.
So that came out and I watched that whole season. It's done. I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about this season. It's not as good as the other ones, but yeah, I watched that. And I think that's about all the nerdy things that I did this week.
Oh, really quickly, Jaja, I remember you like Shaman King, so they released a new part of Shaman King, so that's out.
I've seen.
Well, we'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. Did I tell you guys I watched the second half of He-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you said you liked it better than the first half, right?
It was just as good. It was really good.
Okay.
Gotta watch it.
Okay. So wait, James, do you watch Agretzko?
I do.
Okay, you have to watch Agretzko, and we have to talk about this season because I didn't really like it, but you have to tell me what you thought about it. Josh, you don't watch Agretzko, do you?
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. But yeah, James, we have to sidebar about Agretzko. We'll do that. Not in this episode, obviously, you haven't seen it. But yeah, so before we get into Spider-Man, a couple things first. We got to talk about Hawkeye. We got to talk about what's going on in the gaming world. James is here to provide an update about that. Yes.
So, are you guys familiar with the GDPR policy? General Data Protection Regulation. So, when you sign up for pretty much anything, it tells you like you have to sign the data agreements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to video games, well, actually, this is what happened. So, Ubisoft, they deleted a person's account on Ubisoft, and it had the games that they bought up there. So, like hundreds of dollars worth of games. Since they deleted the account, the games are gone. So that person no longer has access to those games. But it was under the GDPR policy of data protection. So let me see the exact wording that they use for it. So it says if an account is inactive for 6 months, they reserve the right to be able to delete the account.
Why?
Which, that's just a GDPR regulation. So it looks like people are going to have to start reading terms and agreements. So even though that person bought the games, it was considered leased to them. So they don't technically own the games because it's digital. So if the account is gone, the games are gone as well. And it's looking like there's nothing that person can do about it. So the wider discussion is this going to be true across the entire gaming industry? Like, let's say someone's account is inactive and then to be able to protect their data, they just delete the account so they're not storing lots of data. So that's the broader discussion here, but the story will unfold. So it's not done just yet.
Do they at least warn you that they're
Yeah.
about to delete your account before they delete it? Like, I feel like that's crazy.
Yeah, so it did say they sent him like one single email, but it went to a spam folder and he didn't even see it in
Oh.
time. So yeah, his account is now deleted. His games are gone. It's all bad.
So, I mean, the part about being inactive 6 months and getting your account deleted, I don't know about all of that, but when we were going digital, like that's one of the questions I had. Like, okay, so let's say the server goes down and they decide to shut down all Xbox accounts or all PlayStation accounts. My digital account that has thousands of games, I can't access it no more. So, like, that stuff is not really mine. It is releasing it. It's on their servers. You can't take it and physically hold it, and you know what I mean.
Mhm.
So
That's why
it's
part of me still
interesting-
prefers discs over digital games. There's like too
like
much.
I'm waiting for the day they say, oh, we're gonna no longer support Xbox 360 online. You know what I mean? I could still go on my Xbox 360 and play all my digital games, but when that shuts down, I'll only be left with the games that they made backwards compatible, and that's not my whole library. So
Mhm. Yeah, that's
so
kind
it's definitely it's a continuing discussion for sure. So various companies have various policies on what they do with the people's account data because they're only allowed to store data for so long, or they only want to store data for so long because then they're held liable for it. So yeah, the discussion is really how do people navigate this and what can consumers do and customers do to kind of protect their purchases.
I'm interested to know what Facebook does with like inactive accounts, because I'm sure there's a lot of them and there's data on them. Like,
Right.
I wonder what other companies do.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't like that. Something about that doesn't sit well with me
Yeah,
at all.
especially when you pay money for these games. 'Cause
Yeah,
now-
and like you're not gonna get any kind of refund or anything like that. Just the games that I paid for, they're gone. All my save data is gone. That's nuts.
So
I'll be
start
very
reading
angry.
those user agreements, folks. Especially with EA, they said you don't own these games. We're releasing them to you. So EA explicitly says that any game you buy from them is leased to you, so they can be revoked, of course. But yeah, any
Oh,
other
so you
company
see,
you want to
the
read
problem
that.
is that
end
no
user
one
agreement.
no one reads those because they're so
Exactly.
long. No.
Listen, that's why when I first got my Xbox One, I was still buying this. That's like the main reason. Like, what are you gonna do when your online account gets shut down? When the server goes down? That's it.
Never play video games
But
again.
when you like
I would be
nitpick,
upset.
they like, oh, this account has been inactive for 6 months. Then that's kind of not fair. Because what if I want to not play video games for a year and come
Yeah,
back
and
next year? Like, come
That's
on.
exactly what happened in this guy's case. He said he was playing games at an unhealthy rate, so he took a break from gaming for a year, and he came back and yeah, his account was gone, and
Oh.
he had no games.
He's gonna get some money.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
good.
nuts.
I'm not worried about
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, but it raises concern for other people. So if you've been inactive for 5.5 months, maybe you should just log on real quick. I don't know. play for a day, because it's about to happen to you, but hopefully not. Yeah, but I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Nah.
No, I'm gonna just keep buying
Was
this.
this
like
was this a
doing.
PlayStation owner or an Xbox account?
PC gamer.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep buying discs like I've been doing. I only have like 3 digital games. Everything else I own the hard copy. So
Man, yeah,
I
I've been
feel like I
switching to
keep doing
digital
that.
as of late. So
I'm gonna
I
just
may
keep
be
doing
at
that.
Jeopardy.
Yeah, you might be. And like it could even though like, what do you say?
I was about to say I'm like putting my full support on the Game Pass. So like I'm like there's no excuse for me if they shut that down. That's it.
And there's like so
But
many
it's
other things. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Finish your thought about.
I was gonna say it's subscription based, so like it's kind of like in the agreement that like, okay, once we no longer offer this service, there'll be nothing to pay for. You know what I mean? So it's kind of baked in there. I think they're trying to make it like, I don't know. Microsoft, I think, is ahead of the curve a little bit.
So I did read, and it said Microsoft explicitly says that for Minecraft Realms, if it goes inactive for 18 months, they can delete the data from the server. But that was the only game they mentioned Microsoft would delete any of your server data.
Listen, I don't like this. Don't tell me that you're gonna delete my game. I still paid for it at the end of the day. Lease. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, deleting your save game is different from like deleting your right to download the game. That's a little bit deeper. I don't know about that. They can't just delete my save game. Like, I don't know.
We're gonna have to start backing everything up on hard drives again.
But that's the thing. So like, what if your whole PlayStation? So what if all your games are digital, right? And your whole PlayStation crashes and it deletes all your data? Then it's just gone. It's just gone, right? Like that's it. That's another
some
reason.
of it's on the cloud.
Some of it, yeah.
That's the stuff they want to delete. The stuff that's on the cloud.
Don't delete my data. That's kind of
review
crazy.
that GDPR policy.
Yeah, that's nuts. I don't like that. That's crazy. But yeah, anything else about that? Was he the only one that had is he the only one that's happened to? I feel like that can't be the only person.
I'm sure it's probably happened to other people, but that was the only one pointed out in the article.
Okay. Watch your Ubisoft profiles, guys, if you are a PC gamer, because all right. Yeah. Anything else going on in video game news before we take over the podcast with Marvel?
Nah. So you are safe though. So Valve and Steam, those are like the main places PC gamers get their games from. It said they don't delete data.
Good.
Valve and Steam, you're good. I guess it's maybe an Ubisoft problem, but it created a wider discussion of, hey, what will happen? So,
well, thank you for having sense.
PlayStation is developing a counter to Xbox Game Pass, so look out for that. It's in development. So,
yes, I remember you told me that before.
With some minor differences that makes it less like. I don't know if I want to go into it. We could talk about it next podcast, but I'll break it down what the differences are and why the Xbox Game Pass will still be better. But at least you'll have something.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Hold on, wait. Give me 1 second, guys. I have to pause real quick.
I'm ready for Spider-Man.
Same, yeah. I will admit, Game Pass is elite. Now that I use Game Pass, I'm like, oh, Game Pass is it.
Yo, it's the shit. Wait till you start playing on your phone. You're gonna be like, get a Razer Kishi.
All right, sorry about that. I'm back.
All good.
Yes. All right. Let's talk about Hawkeye. Well, let's let you guys talk about Hawkeye because I only saw 35% of the episode. Did you guys?
You want to go, James?
Yeah, I don't remember too many details, so I don't know how in depth I can go from like as far as the whole plot goes, but on a grand scale, I did like the episode. So at first it was starting to seem like it was slowing down some because I mean they had a big nice fight last episode, and then now they wanted to kind of slow it down, explain some things going on, give some backstory to some characters.
I feel like a lot of the show has been explaining what's going on. I feel like it has been like very little action, more so like explaining what's going on.
Right.
The whole show's been like that.
So like they showed a blip happening, but I was like confused on what was actually going on because I wasn't thinking in a blip mindset. So oh man, I forget the character's name, but the Black Widow character that was there.
Yelena.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. She was like washing her hands and then a blip happened and I was like, wait, what was that? And then it hit me. It was like, oh snap, she just kind of blipped. So because it did say that it was a flashback. So I was like, okay, that's what happened.
Yeah. So everyone.
Do you remember that scene, Shannon?
Yeah, I do. I was awake for that part.
I mean, real quick about that scene. I remember them talking about the blip, and I don't know. I think it was Spider-Man who talked about it, and then he was describing how he felt during that 5-year absence. And the way they showed this blip, they made it seem like it was like a sudden thing.
Like an instant
washing
thing.
Her hands, and like mid bringing her hands to her face, she blipped and came back and was in a different place, and then literally watched the world change around her and warp to her reality and her time. And I don't know. I was like, okay, I guess that's how that would have happened. But Spider-Man made it feel like he was chilling for 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I think it was kind of a bit of a plot hole because I feel like that's not the same experience across the board. Like they made it like it kind of made it seem like she blinked and like that was it. And like it was 5 years later. Wait, can you guys hear me? Am I freezing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm good because my internet is unstable.
Yeah.
I just gotta
You
sign.
you slowed out. You slowed down a little bit, but you're good now.
Okay. Let's not start this again, internet, please. Not when we're talking about Spider-Man. Okay, just let me know. Just let me know if I start to be a little. Just let me know if it starts to get like a little crazy. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I feel like that's an inconsistency with the blip, and so I don't know. I don't really know how. I mean, I
Right.
just brushed over it, but I don't really know. It was kind of weird.
So my review for this episode, or for this series, like we all know, I haven't been enjoying it as much as I was thinking I was going to. All 4 episodes were complete trash. This episode was the best episode of the whole series. And
Nice.
it kind of fuels why I hate the whole series in general, because it was good for all the reasons why I hate the episode, if that makes any sense.
No.
So
no.
You hate to love it.
this show's about Hawkeye, and I'm freaking enjoying everybody else but Hawkeye.
This
Oh.
is true. Yeah.
That's my problem with the show. He should have got, if he had his own movie and we would have done seen his movie, I would have no problem right now. But the fact that they they taking a dump on my boy Hawkeye, man. I'm sorry. Like this show is not about Hawkeye. But I love this episode. I love the Yelena backstory and her whole interaction with Kate. That whole interrogation was pretty dope. And I'm just a Yelena fan, so like anytime I see Yelena, I'm gonna get hyped. So, but yeah, this was my favorite episode.
I have to rewatch it because again, I fell asleep, so I missed the middle. But was it just? Did you like it just because the Yelena part in the beginning and the part at the end? What happened in the middle? Just somebody explain to me real quick what happened in the middle of the episode.
They did a whole backstory on Yelena.
Mm-hmm.
She went and interrogated Kate, tried to find out where Hawkeye was. She didn't know, and then I think they went to Hawkeye. I'm trying to remember what happened towards the end before the whole big reveal.
He went and retrieved the special arrows from the LARP group.
Okay. I don't remember the details, but nothing crazy happened besides.
Yeah, I was about to say it doesn't sound like anything crazy happened, guys, except the end.
Right.
Not until
nothing happens when Hawkeye's on the screen.
Yeah, he's been live playing the whole time, so live action role playing.
Like I'm pissed about that.
Yeah, I agree now. Like I don't think the last 4 episodes have been absolute trash, like Jaja said. But I mean, it is not so much about Hawkeye, so it's a little misleading. I agree with you there.
They haven't been trash because I love my girl Echo and but I love them for all the other characters besides Hawkeye and Kate. I don't like them.
Yeah, it's
like
not,
I like
Hawkeye's story.
I really don't like Kate, but they're not giving my boy Hawkeye any shine.
Yeah,
he seems like such a broken hero. Like
I mean, he kind of is. So he's on his way out. They're just using the show to kind of pass the torch.
So sad.
They're passing the boat.
So, are we gonna talk about the big reveal now, or what? Like,
yeah.
Are we here for Kingpin or what? Like, this has been. I feel like out of all the times where people have hyped up theories, the theories about the Hawkeye show and Spider-Man have come true more than any other theories ever.
I'm gonna get to that. Literally all the fan theories about Spider-Man were spot on correct, but we'll get to that in a second. And yes, and for the show as well.
And I kind of think it's cool the way, I don't know, cool, cheesy, whatever you want to call it. I hate you, Marvel. Take my money. But y'all gonna hit us with the Kingpin on Wednesday, knowing that Spider-Man comes out on Thursday, and in the first 10 minutes of Spider-Man, we get Daredevil. Like they thought they were slick with that.
Great reveals, but like I kind of want to know now, like where we're gonna see them next, because like there's only 1 episode of Hawkeye left, so where's Kingpin going from here is what I want to know, and I also want to know where Daredevil's going from here too.
He could pop up anywhere at any time.
I guess so, yeah. But where do you think he's gonna pop up? Where do you think because like what else is coming out? What's coming out next? What show's coming out next?
Doctor Strange?
No.
Show.
Is there Kingpin's not gonna pop up in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, definitely not.
So
Nah, we know that he's here. Give him some time. Let them film some stuff, but we know he's here.
Yeah, let him
He's
fly.
here.
where are we
Daredevil's
gonna?
here.
Okay, I mean yes, but where are we? Okay, we'll get to that.
I think we're gonna see them in She-Hulk. If I had to take a guess, it'll be She-Hulk.
Probably because that's like the next like normal show, like not about like magic or multiverse.
Like, and she's
type
supposed to be a
things.
lawyer.
Yeah.
So like the whole law thing is gonna come into play, and I think it's a Hell's Kitchen type area they might be in. So I think that's where we're gonna see that.
Yeah, I think so too. That makes the most sense actually. So we'll see. But yeah, Kingpin was the big reveal of the episode. Is that the? So I guess that's what was supposed to blow up the internet. Remember remember last week I saw an article that said this episode was going to blow up the internet. Literally just like the last 2 seconds, the cameo is what they're talking about. Nothing in the story blew up.
And it was something that everybody has been predicting for the last month. So it was like, okay, thank you for confirming everything we knew.
Yeah. So I'm very interested to see what's going to happen in the last episode. I mean, the last episode, in order for this show to like pick up from like the mid tier that it's at right now, the last episode has to be like phenomenal, and I feel like it's really not going to be. I feel like it's still kind of going to be more of the same of what we've been seeing, but I mean, I could be wrong. We'll see.
I can't like, it would really have to focus on Hawkeye and Kate and really establishing them two as like a duo instead of, because like, I don't know, it would have to do something to really like make me be like, all right, that was cool. But right now it's just like, okay, you just introed a whole bunch of new characters. I feel like it's the X-Men or some shit.
But the thing is, like, I feel like they introed these new characters, but now the show is about to end. Like, this is the last right? This is the last episode that's coming up. So, like, what the heck? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like these shows are really short, and like, it's not enough time. I mean, I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier did a good job of like telling a whole story and wrapping it up. But I feel like
all
this
the other
was,
shows did a good job of like wrapping up the side character stories a little bit.
Yeah.
In WandaVision, we got a little closure with Agatha. In Falcon and Winter Soldier, you just talked about it. And Loki, we got a little bit of closure with the other Loki, Lady Loki, and But
I feel like those
just
were
like there's so many.
Yeah, I feel like those were complete stories. But like Hawkeye, I feel like it's been 5 episodes of storytelling, and now it's just gonna be over next week. I feel like it's not enough. So like, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. But I don't really have high hopes for the season finale. The season finale has to be amazing.
I still want a Hawkeye and Black Widow story, so I feel like that's a big piece that's missing.
I feel like we're moving further and further away from Black Widow, but
from Budapest, we're never gonna find out what happened in Budapest, are we?
Never.
And now we're moving away from Hawkeye too, so I feel like you might never get that.
Oh man,
sorry, Jaja, I've given up on it. I wanted it, and they failed to deliver when they had a chance to. So
what I want to happen, what would redeem Hawkeye's whole arc is if his daughter grows up to be Hawkeye and just beats the shit out of Kate Bishop.
Why? Oh my God. You just don't like Kate Bishop. She's fine. She's fine.
She just calling herself the world's greatest archer. How dare you? But anyway, moving
she's
on.
Pretty good though. But okay. Yeah, so we'll have actually next week is Christmas, so don't know if we'll have a Hawkeye season finale review. That might have to wait, but I guess we'll see. We're still trying to figure out a recording schedule for the holidays, but I'll let you guys know via Instagram if there's gonna be an episode or not. Are you guys ready to talk about Spider-Man?
We need like drum rolls right now.
Yes. First of all, before we even get into it, real quick, when did you guys see it? You saw it on Thursday, right, James?
Thursday.
What time? 7. All right, Jaja. What day and time did you see it?
I saw it Saturday at 3:30 p.m.
Okay, so all like, oh no, you saw it at night. Yeah, I saw it on Friday at 12 p.m. So, and your theaters weren't packed. I was so surprised. Literally every single seat in my theater, somebody was sitting in.
I mean, every single seat was filled, besides the 2 that were next to me.
Oh, okay. And I have to say, ever since they made like the reclining seats, I feel like even though the theater was packed, I still felt like there was like a good amount of space between like all the people, because like the reclining seats, there has to be like there's space in front of you and there's space behind you. Like nobody's like right behind you.
Okay.
Like,
So I will say that the AMCs with the reclining seats, those seats were taken I had to go see it in IMAX or like the regular Dolby Cinema.
Mm.
Those theaters you can find seats, but all the reclining seats showings, those were hard to find.
Wait, so there are theaters that don't have reclining seats still?
Yeah, IMAX doesn't do reclining. Well, I guess some IMAXs don't do it, but like depending on the type of, I don't know what's the word for it, the way they film it, because there's like you can go
Yeah.
see it in IMAX or Dolby or what's the other one they have? There's another one they have that's supposed to be a different type of super sharp image or something like that.
I
But
forgot. Mhm.
not all of them are reclining seats. No,
Oh, interesting. Okay. I
my
feel like I
seats were
haven't been to
very uncomfortable. I came out of my movie theater with back pain, like straight up. Even though I had space to lean to the right, my back was hurting after that movie.
And you were at an AMC or you were at a different theater?
AMC?
Interesting. I feel like I haven't been to a theater without reclining seats in like a very long time.
Same.
Okay. But yeah, my theater was packed. But yeah, this was a great, so I just want to say I'm still like very reeling from the hype of this movie. It was just so good. It was so good. And I was like so impressed by the time I left. Like this is the first time in a while where I've been to a movie and like it's literally met a Marvel movie specifically. And it's literally met like every single one of my expectations. I was not disappointed at all by any part of it. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
That sums it up.
Yep. You worded it perfectly.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it took you through every single spectrum of emotion. Like on the spectrum, you were like happy, you were laughing, you were sad, you were angry. It was just like everything. It's all wrapped up into one nice package. And yeah, it was just a really great experience and like super fun to watch.
Before we talk about the movie,
Mhm.
how was the crowd in your showing?
Oh, good thing you bring this up because I want to ask the question. The crowd was very hype. There's a lot of applause at certain points. So I went to see with my boyfriend, and my boyfriend hates when people clap in the movie theaters. So I told him I was gonna ask on the podcast. Do you guys hate when people clap or cheer in the movie theater? Or are you clapping and cheering with people in the movie theater?
Go, James.
Very briefly. So if it's like a quick like woo, then I'm like, okay, that's cool. But if you're like start talking to your neighbor about it, then you're wilding out. Then you gotta calm down. You're doing too much. But yeah, like a quick outburst, I'm definitely cool with that. Because like sometimes
Are you participating?
So I mean, I'll clap a hand here and there. I'm a pretty laid back, relaxed guy. So got my poker face on while I'm watching the movie. But I mean, I was excited at various parts, and I'll like give a quick fist bump or something like that. But I'm not about to shout out anything.
What about you, Jaja?
So I got mixed feelings about this because it's funny because okay, I go to the movie theater for that. You know what I mean? It's mainly for the crowd and the reaction and just the experience because you can build the movie theater in your house and it's not as fun as going to the movie theater. So yeah, I like to see the crowd reaction. I like to see when the two Spider-Mans came and everyone's like, oh my God, yeah, they're coming to here. But it like some crowds go a little bit too far. And I think mine was like right on the line of like being annoying and being like, okay. Because even me, like I find myself getting excited and jumping up and like I'll shout something to the TV and be like, damn, I don't know if I annoyed somebody by just saying that. But like I was excited just like everybody else. But like for example, when Andrew Garfield went to save Mary Jane,
Mm-hmm.
there was a guy on that, literally he was in my row, I could see him and he's at the edge of his seat. He went to the edge of his seat and he said, redeem yourself, yes, redeem it. And I was like, okay, all right. I'm like, you need to relax. But like there was a lot of talking going on, but like I couldn't like in a Marvel movie, there's a whole bunch of comic nerds in there. Like there's gonna be talking. I'm like, that's what it is. As long as it's not too much. Because there were people like saying, well, shut up, you know what I mean? When people went too far. So it's like it was it was right on the edge.
It was just, I didn't have any people like talking like a lot during the movie, but like there was cheering. Like I clapped when Andrew Garfield first popped on the screen, along with everyone else. And then that's when my boyfriend was saying, like, "What are you doing?" I'm just like, I feel like, and I don't clap in like
It's
all,
a
I don't clap in
reaction.
every movies. Yeah, but like I feel like certain movies, like this one, which can be
But
argued.
Marvel, they set it up to do that. Remember in Winter Soldier when Captain America was revealed, like he came from behind the train. Like they set it up for the movie theater to clap at certain parts and to have certain reactions.
And Marvel movies for sure. If you're gonna clap at any movie, you clap at the hypeness of a Marvel movie. And like this is arguably one of the greatest crossovers I've ever seen. So I feel like this deserves clapping. If not any movie, like this is the movie where you have to have your hype moments. So like it's okay to clap, guys. And when you go to see this movie, feel free to do it. Because yeah. All right. So where should we start? What do you guys want to dive into first? Jaja, I know you have a lot that you said you want to talk about. So let's start with you.
I wish I had like my notes in time order when the movie happened.
I know,
but, like,
me too.
I have a lot of like comments, but I don't know. It started off pretty good. Obviously, it started off with the Daredevil Easter egg. And
yes,
that was
so I was
amazing.
I was surprised to see him in there. Well, I wasn't surprised. I actually forgot about that theory that he was going to be in the movie. So when I saw him, I was surprised. I was like, oh, he is here. But now I wonder, like, just really quick on Daredevil, I wonder where we're going to see him next also. Like, where's he going to be?
It felt like they kind of were like, let's get this out the way real quick. Okay, Daredevil in the beginning of the movie, put that out the way.
Because
it threw me off.
Yeah.
It threw me off that it was so early in the movie that we got that.
Yeah. It threw me off also, but I'm just very curious because like he didn't have a big part in the movie, obviously. Like we saw him in the beginning and that was it. So like I'm wondering like where we'll see. We'll probably, like you said, we'll probably maybe see him in She-Hulk also. But I'm really excited that they are bringing Charlie Cox over as Daredevil because he was a great Daredevil and like I don't feel like anybody else could play him as well. So I'm really glad that they're bringing that version into the MCU, into MCU canon. So that's exciting. So many exciting things in this movie. This movie set up so much. Wow.
In the beginning, I guess it was him and MJ, his relationship, and how the big reveal messed up his life. I guess there was a little part I don't know if y'all saw in the beginning where he jumped into the crowd trying to like get MJ out of that crowd, and there was a woman trying to take his mask off, and then when he took MJ and left, she's like, "Oh, he hit me." I was like, "Hey, she don't get out of here." You went to put hands on that man. Now you saying he hit you.
Some guy, I also noticed some guy tried to grab onto him when he jumped up to swing away. I was like, where do you think you're going? You're about to swing along with him? Like, I don't understand. But yeah, that was funny. And not funny, but like that was.
So our boy EA Voss did mention that they recreated that scene like exactly to a T from the last movie. Like tried to have all the people around that was there and like they did a pretty good job.
That's great. Continuity is important because people will notice stuff like that. So I'm glad that they were able to recreate that part. I really want to try to see it again before this podcast, but I didn't get a chance to. So now I'm trying to remember.
That was the plan.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
Next, how about Doctor Strange versus Spider-Man? Can we say that Spider-Man won? on the 1v1 on the 1v1 tip, Spider-Man or low-key beat Doctor Strange.
He kept him out the movie for a while.
I was actually really surprised. I was really surprised that he was able to keep Doctor Strange trapped in there for that long. I'm like, I feel like somebody who's supposed to be the Sorcerer Supreme, well, not anymore. Oh, how do you guys feel about that, by the way? That Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme now. I was like, if that's the case, why was Wong widely absent from this movie? Shouldn't he have intervened in everything that was going on at that point?
If you notice, Wong has been taking care of business somewhere because in the last place we saw him, he left to go and he either left and he was coming back this time, right? Like he left in a different movie and he came back in the same outfit. It looked like he was continuing, like he just came back from that journey, whatever.
The last time we saw Wong was in Shang-Chi, right? Yeah.
We saw Wong in Shang-Chi, but I think there was a movie before that where he was absent for the whole movie because he went somewhere in a portal. Like
he was absent in he left in Infinity War. Yeah, that he left in Infinity War and he came back at the end of Endgame. That was where we saw him.
Got it. I don't know. Wong has been doing something.
He's a busy man right now. I hope they like say like what he's doing because I'm curious now. Now that
Not
he's
helping.
officially the Sorcerer Supreme, yeah, he's been doing something for quite a while.
Yeah, not intervening in the cracking open of the multiverse and several multiversal beings coming into their reality. I feel like he should have. I feel like he should have been like put his foot down. But
Yeah, there's
whatever.
got to be a bigger threat somewhere that he's dealing with.
Like
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is over here doing spells that he's talking about. Let me fix it before Wong finds out. Like, isn't he the all-knowing Sorcerer Supreme? How are you gonna hide stuff from him? Like, he should just know.
I mean, is he the all-knowing, or did he just become Sorcerer Supreme on a technicality of Doctor Strange not being there for 5 years? So
Wait, so
I feel
Doctor
like,
Strange got blipped.
yeah, he was blipped. Yeah, so he was gone. So like somebody had to do
Okay.
it while he was gone, and I guess Wong was still there, so that's why.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't remember, and you know.
Wait, so do we think that, I know I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but do we think that Spider-Man's friend is gonna be a Sorcerer Supreme?
Ned, right? Yeah,
Ned,
that's what I was
yes.
saying. I was like, they have to do something with this story plot. Like they can't just say that he can do magic and then do nothing with that. So I feel like
And
he
fade
might.
to the background.
Mm-hmm. I
Right.
feel like they might.
And even the cape took to him, so
Yeah. So I feel like they might. And I feel like they have to, because I don't understand why they would bring that up. He mentioned magic a couple times. He opened the portals. I feel like he has to. Who needs well, now he's going to MIT at the end. But I was saying to myself in the movie, like, who needs MIT when you can study to be a sorcerer? Who needs college?
Oh yeah.
I was getting annoyed with Ned, so I'm glad they did that with him.
Why? Why were you getting annoyed with him? What did he do to you?
No comment.
No, tell us your thoughts.
No, nothing. I just thought his character was annoying. That's it. There's nothing more to it than that.
But there has to be a reason you thought that. Why did you think that? Explain yourself. Explain yourself.
I'm like, this guy is just annoying our Spider-Man. Like, go away, let him be Spider-Man. He always okay. So all right, so we could talk about it now. My whole thing that I liked that they did with this movie is that, like, back in the day, I'm used to Spider-Man like not being able to be happy, not being able to have any friendships, not being able, like, no one knowing his identity. That was the Spider-Man that I was used to. So the fact that his girl knew who he was, his friends, his mom, Aunt Mary J, like his Aunt May, like, that's not how this Amazing Spider-Man. Well, I forget which cartoon I used to watch because there's like 15 different Spider-Man cartoons, but I don't remember everyone just knowing who he was. I'm not used to that version. So I like that we're going back to that.
I was actually a little sad. I was very mad for him. I remember saying justice for Peter to at the end, because I was just so mad. I was like, why can no version of Spider-Man be happy? Like, is this his destiny to just be lonely and sad and doomed? I felt so bad for him. I didn't like
It's
it.
an absolute point in the timeline.
Oh,
it's like, you ever seen, the Lucky Charms commercials where the kids, or the Tricks commercials where the kids don't want the rabbits to have the cereal?
Yes.
Why can't the rabbit have some cereal? Like, come on, just give him a bowl of cereal. There's more than enough cereal to go around. That's how I feel. It's like the same thing to me.
So if there is a next trilogy, are we going to get like the broke Spider-Man that we're used to? Because he just moved into his new apartment with one single box of belongings.
Yeah, and it looks like he has to take the GED. So one of my other questions was, when they erased memory, when everyone forgets that the Peter Parker Spider-Man, does that erase Peter Parker's whole existence, or does it alter history? And it looks like so far that it erased his whole existence.
Yeah, that's what it looked like too. Because I was like, wow, so he, like, they don't even remember like that he goes to high school with them. So I guess like they just don't have any memory of him at all as a person, like ever. Like,
Yeah,
not
because
even
Happy didn't
before,
even notice him
Mhm.
or
Yeah,
remember him.
but if you notice, MJ's still wearing the necklace that he gave her. And so I don't know.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
there were something. So I know that people are asking, like, okay, so like, what about, because like when everyone found out his identity, it was in the news, it was in the newspapers. I'm like, people are asking, like, did that stuff all get erased? like scrubbed from the internet? Is there like is all that stuff gone? Like little things like that.
Probably.
Like people are, yeah, that's what I said.
Most
too.
likely.
Yeah.
But it's not as, that wouldn't be as hard as like, altering history, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because
Mhm.
another thing our boy EA also saying is that, like, if you look at the movies, Peter Parker missed out on a lot of the important events with their friendship. Like, I think he missed like the homecoming dance or like certain events that they would have been at together. So it's like, if they would have changed history, and him erasing his existence is not that hard because he missed a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very sad. It's a very sad life for Peter Parker.
It is a very sad life for Peter Parker. I feel like in this one, I thought maybe he was going to be happy. He was going to be able to, be a happy person. Of course not, though. Of course not. It's kind of sad. So did the killing of Aunt May, did anyone see that coming?
Not at all.
No. You did, Jaja? You saw it coming?
Mm-hmm.
Like from the beginning of the beginning of the movie?
Not from, no. Not, well,
Okay.
actually, I didn't predict it from the beginning of the movie, but being that I watched so many videos, I believe our boy predicted it, or somebody that I watched predicted that Aunt May's gonna die, because he just needed to experience some type of tremendous loss. Like this Spider-Man hasn't really, he lost Iron Man, but he needed to lose somebody like closer
To him,
and
yeah.
I always thought like, yo, where's his Uncle Ben moment? With great power comes great responsibility. That's always been one of my questions for our Spider-Man. And yeah, I didn't see it happen in the way it happened, but actually, let me take that back. When the movie opened and Happy came and she dumped Happy, I said, yeah, she's getting it. I said they're gonna kill her.
I did not put that together at all.
Yes,
I did not put that together at all.
I remember thinking that. I was like, "Yep, they're gonna kill Aunt May." First of all, Aunt May is too fine to be in this movie. Like we know, like we're used to old, haggly Aunt May. She's too fine to be in the MCU.
Well, she had a good amount of time. She was in a lot of movies, so I feel like it's fine. She was in she was in Civil War. She was in the last two Spider-Man movies. I feel like she was
a throwaway character. She was a throwaway character.
She got her Marvel bag, yeah.
I was very sad though. I was like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this right now? But yes, you're right. It did have to happen. It had to happen.
It's an absolute point for Spider-Man to get that quote and to experience that type of loss, just like Doctor Strange.
Yep. I agree.
These absolute points, boy.
So I know that we're kind of like going all over the place, guys. That's what happens when we don't have notes. This is why I kind of want to see the movie again, but bear with us here. So really quickly, was anyone surprised that literally the internet predicted this entire movie? Because like you go from like WandaVision where like the fan theories were so wrong, like so wrong, like so like wrong out of left field, like everything was wrong, and then like you go to this movie where like everything was right. Were you guys surprised by that?
The thing about the theories is like, I'm not surprised because like they executed it so well that it was like, it still surprised everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It did surprise everyone just because like you still didn't know at the end of the day if it was gonna happen 100%. So like when it like, I know that everyone had a feeling that it was like, I was 90% sure that they were both going to be in it, but like it was still like a surprise, and like it was still a great moment when they both appeared on screen, and like the chemistry between the three of them was great. It was like really good.
Big time.
Yeah. The chemistry was great. The comedy was really good. The interaction was great. And also like, I like that they were in the movie for a good amount of time. Cause I read a rumor that they were only going to be on screen for like 30 minutes, which I don't really know like how long that ended up being, but it felt longer than 30 minutes. I felt like a good amount of time.
Yeah.
To have them.
It felt like a good stretch.
Yeah. I'm glad that they were, cause I thought that originally and sorry guys, I'm talking about Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland. And Tobey Maguire. I'm glad that they didn't just come in at the end, like when like Peter was like struggling in this fight with all the villains. I'm glad that they actually came in before, and like, you know, before like all the action started, and we got some like real interaction between them, and we got to see them like hatch a plan and stuff like that. That stuff I really enjoyed how that played out, and I feel like it was a lot better to do it that way. It was great.
and that Spider-Man pep talk that they all had with each other, like that bonding
Yeah.
moment over, I mean, essentially trauma, but I mean, that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
Because that's
Yes,
what
it was.
really brought them together, knowing that they all have that in common, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like one quote, like it was really like that's what brought that team together.
Yep. And I really liked how like
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and I really liked how like at first, like when the fight first started, they were having like communication issues, and you know how like they try to work that out. I feel like everything was like very realistic. I like the part where they didn't know who the Avengers were. That was funny.
Yes, that was great.
But yeah, I just thought it was so well executed, and like the chemistry, like the interaction between the three of them, it was so good. It was so well written, so well acted. It was amazing.
So since we're on the reveals of them two, first I like that they didn't de-age Toby. Like I like that he came in as like the old man Spider-Man with the hurt back and stuff like that. That was great. And then the scene where they're like on the scaffolding and he's stretching his back out and he cracks his back, and then Tom Holland's up there and they're having this banter back and forth. That was honestly one of my favorite scenes of the movie, because it seemed like they were just improv. It seemed like the director was like, "Yo, you three are Spider-Man. What would happen if y'all three were just chilling and just talking to each other for a quick second?" Because that had me rolling that scene. And also when they were in the scene, the trying to hatch the plan on how to take down the different villains, it's like you could tell that they're all have an expertise in like different types of science. Like they're not all the same type of smart. They all know different things, and they're all equally like highly intelligent. And like the fact that the web shooters, they're made different and they're all joking about. I wish they went into that a little bit more.
Yeah, because
they really didn't explain it. They kind of like glossed over it.
I forgot that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, like the web shooters. Actually, I didn't forget that because I always wondered, like, especially with this, when we got introduced to Tom Holland, if the web shooters came out of his body also, but they don't. So like, I wonder why they like chose to go a different route and not do that with Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Right.
I wondered that, but yeah, that was
because it's a very, like, as a kid thinking about it, I used to think about that as a kid, like, does the web come out of his wrist? And if so, like, he's shooting it and then hanging from it to swing, that must like hurt his wrist. Like,
it's making me cringe a little bit.
Like the web shooters make it like so that like, okay, he can hang from that a swing, and I guess, but like I don't know. And then he used to run out, and like they were kind of making little like sexual innuendos about it. Like, does it come out of everywhere? You know what I mean? Like they were getting kind of deep with it. I'm like, okay, I never wondered that far about the web shooters, but now that you say that, does your body just produce like that? Yeah, I wish they would have explained it a little bit more, because now I have more questions. So.
Yeah. And we'll never see them together on screen again, but it's fine. What else jumped out at you about the movie? Okay, wait. Go ahead. I'll let you go first.
Can we talk about the villains real quick?
Yes, I was about to go there too, so let's talk about them. I thought, wait, what specifically about them?
All of them, how freaking awesome they were.
I thought they all reprised their roles perfectly. It was so good. William Dafoe is like 66, and he said that I was watching an interview, and he said that when they first approached him, he said he didn't want to do it like unless he could do all his own stunts, and like, you know, there was a lot of action involved. I'm like, this is great. And like he's like an older man, so like the fact that William
Dafoe is one of my favorite actors ever. Mm-hmm. Like he's one of the GOATs, like straight up.
He's great.
I just have to say that.
He did a fantastic job. Everyone did a really, really good job. I really like Jamie Foxx. I'm kind of and which is fine, because Jamie Foxx, he was fine in his movie, but like I've always been on the fence about him as an actor. Not as an actor, but like in these type of movies. But he did a really good job. He did a really good job with his role. And so did so did what's his face that plays Doc Ock. I forgot his name, his real name. Apologies. But they all did really, really well. All the villains did a great job coming back.
Right. I like the banter they had going back and forth when they all finally got locked up in the same room, and they're like talking to each other, and they kind of showed like another side of the villains because they humanized a lot of them. So it made Peter Parker's mission more like, okay, he is doing the right thing because these people are just like, they messed up just like they got problems just like everybody else, you know. So the fact that Peter wanted to cure them and stuff, I thought like that was really cool because it could just reboot this like now it could be like back in the day where he's fighting these characters over and over, you know what I mean? They don't have to go back to the universe and die. Like even if he didn't cure their like their villain mindset, at least like we have these villains back, you know?
I guess I just didn't understand that plot point. I guess I just didn't understand it because I don't really get, so like they cured them. So now they're going back. So now they're not going to die because they're cured. Because they made it, because in the beginning, Doctor Strange was making it sound like if they go back, no matter what, like they're going to die because it's their fate. But does them being cured magically change their fate? So they're just not going to die now? That's what I was a little bit confused about.
Yeah, so I was wondering, since the Spider-Man that they were fighting in their universe was there, like fighting them and saw, all right, this person is cured. Like when they go back, like I don't think it's going to be on site when they see each other anymore because, like, hey man, I just fought you, in another universe, and I know you don't have your powers anymore, so there's no reason for me to kill you.
Okay,
I feel like it's going to create a branch timeline or something like that. Like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
like he basically altered fate. Oh yeah, that probably is definitely for sure. Like by the logic of what we've seen of the multiverse and timeline so far, I feel like that would definitely create a branch timeline. Yeah.
Like it's just gonna go on however they feel like it when they see each other back in their universe. Like, and I think it's funny, even though I'm skipping really ahead right now, that like Venom just got snapped, like brought into the universe just to get taken out.
Oh yeah, and then he left
like,
the
and
universe
now
again.
is he like just back in his universe chilling, and we won't see him in the MCU? We'll just get Venom in some type of form without the actor.
I was
he left some
confused by that.
symbiote, so
Yeah.
I imagine
he did.
some sort of symbiote will be there, even if it's not the Venom we know and love already. But there will be a symbiote involved because it was still on that bar table when he left. So symbiote exists in the MCU.
We're getting a new trilogy, so
yes.
Hopefully they don't kill off Tom Holland anytime soon.
I don't think so. So they can't.
So
he's doing another 3 movies, even though I saw the other day that he said he wants to stop acting for a while. I'm like, no, you don't. Stop it.
I want to talk about the whole MIT thing. How I think there's a little Easter egg there that no one's talking about. Well, I haven't heard no one talk about it yet.
Okay.
Who in the future do we know goes to MIT? Give it to me. Give it to me. You know it, Shannon.
I don't know.
I do.
Ironheart.
Oh. I don't really actually know a lot about Ironheart, to be quite honest.
What if Peter Parker meets Ironheart and has something to do with her becoming Ironheart? That would be so dope. And then I saw.
Isn't Ironheart going to be in Black Panther? Too?
Well, Peter Parker's not going to MIT, so I guess that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Okay, I just debunked that theory in my head. But there was another. Somebody was just talking about like, what if I think it was the A-Boss. I mean, I'm stealing all his shit. But anyway, he was talking about like, since Peter Parker doesn't have an identity right now, like, what if the school he ends up going to right now after taking the GED, or they see that he blew away the scores on the GED, or whatever test he takes, he's gonna like pass. He gets accepted into some program and finds out this program is Reed Richards' program, and then there we got the Fantastic Four, and Peter Parker can do stuff with that.
You think it's going to take that long for them to introduce the Fantastic Four? Because I don't think a Spider-Man, because I read an article that Spider-Man 4 is actually in development already, but like, when are we going to see that? Probably like another 3 years or something like that. So I feel like it can't take them that long to introduce Fantastic Four.
Well, so what is he in college? They're about to go to college right now, right? So I mean, they got time.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess we'll see. I was about to I lost my train of thought. I was about to say something. It's gone. James,
any chance you guys think we get Miles Morales? Since I mean, they were talking about a Black Spider-Man.
They did. I really actually like that part. I like that part when Jamie Foxx was talking to when Electro was talking to Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and he was like, I thought for sure you were Black. There has to be a Black Spider-Man out there somewhere. That was a good moment. But I wonder when we're actually, like, they keep teasing. I feel like, well, no, they don't keep. I think this is the second time they've made like some kind of tease towards him. But I wonder like when for sure, like we're actually gonna get a Miles Morales.
It's coming. It's coming.
It has to.
But like when? Because we're already getting, so we're getting another 3. We're getting a whole new Spider-Man trilogy. So are we getting him in those movies? Like when will we see an actual Miles Morales? And when will he kind of like take over for Spider-Man? I'm hoping somewhere in those 3 movies.
When the Young Avengers get together, that's when would it make sense for me.
I mean, yeah, but like he has to get introduced before that too. You know what I mean? So like where will we see
Right.
Spider-Man next? Bringing in Miles Morales.
Only time will tell. So far, Marvel has did a great job with the plot and the storytelling. So they're gonna bring him in somehow, and they're gonna make us feel dumb for trying to figure out how they're gonna do it. Because all this time we sit up here figuring, oh, how are they gonna bring Tom Holland and I mean, how are they gonna bring Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in? And then they did it with such a simple explanation.
Yeah.
Oh, he messed up the spell. Now everybody that knew who Peter Parker was, who knew the true identity of Peter Parker, they're all being invited to come into this universe, and a few of them got in. So if this character knew Peter Parker's identity, boom, he could show up anywhere. That was just so simple, like easy. And okay, real quick, in that scene when the universe looked like it was ripping apart, which was beautiful. Did y'all see like there was silhouettes kind of like people? Did y'all see that? I thought I saw the Rhino as one of them.
Yeah,
like,
somebody else pointed that out too.
Recognize anybody?
No, because it flashed too fast for me to actually like see. I have to like freeze frame that and actually look back. Yeah, I couldn't tell on the first glance who it was.
When I in the theater, I saw it and I saw the Rhino, and then I saw like little figures, but I didn't get a chance. Obviously, it was too fast, but I definitely saw the Rhino, I think. So I'm like, oh, the Rhino's trying to get in here. And then it just sparked this idea, like maybe he's going to have his adventures, you know what I mean? But he's battling iconic foes because they know who he is and stuff like that. But I don't know. They could do literally anything. It's rebooted now.
Did you also notice that?
With a Spider-Man that has 3 different versions of history in him. Like it's so crazy to think about.
Yeah. Did you also notice when the sky was cracking open like that? It looked exactly how it looked when in Loki when the multiverse was cracking open. So I thought that was interesting as well. I'm just interested to see where this is all gonna go next. But
so
yeah,
you
know how they said they weren't gonna do like the 10-year stories like leading up to some big endgame event?
Yeah,
I feel like this is the hybrid of that. Like this is what they're doing instead. We had a couple movies that introduced a couple new people, and then boom, this Spider-Man movie and Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, those are our end game event movies.
Yeah, because no, sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's it. That's all I was saying.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like it's not all because like the multiverse is obviously going to be a big point of contention in this phase, but like not everyone right now is affected by the multiverse. Like Hawkeye, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like those people are like, I don't know, like it has nothing to do with the multiverse. But then you have this
They're doing their own thing.
Yeah, exactly. So like I'm just trying to see like how it's going to line up. Like I don't really see like She-Hulk or like these other things, like having anything to do with the multiverse. So it's kind of it's like 2 separate things running parallel. So like it's kind of. And if it somehow does all end up together, then that would be really interesting, but I don't think it will.
If this was Infinity War, Multiverse of Madness is Endgame. Like that's going to be the second part of this movie because we're not done with the whole repercussions of the spell, as we saw in the end credit scene. Like that was the trailer. For the next movie.
I was like, when it first came on, I was like, this is weird. I was like, is this a trailer? What's going on right now?
I was like, I think they're showing too much of the next movie.
I'm so excited for that movie. That's gonna be like the next big. That's gonna be the next big thing. I'm so mad it got pushed back to May because then we all had to wait like a couple months because it was supposed to come out in March. But whatever.
We got the big reveal of evil Doctor Strange. So
yeah, from What If,
and we saw Wanda. We got confirmation of Wanda.
Yep,
it looks like she's gonna be good.
Yeah, I think they showed us a lot, but But I feel like they didn't show it in like enough pieces where you could kind of piece together the whole plot of the movie. Like it was very all over the place. Like there were a lot of different things going on. So I feel like they did a good job, like not making it too obvious, like what exactly is going to happen or like what it's going to be about. So
imagine when Doctor Strange, when they showed that scene of him like pulling up on Wanda, she had already traveled through multiverse, got her kids, and they're just in the house chilling, and she's just still living out there. Like,
yeah.
And she just has knowledge of the multiverse more than him. That would be
Do you
crazy.
think? So a lot of people are saying that Wanda's probably going to be the
We're to
villain
hit
in this
first on
movie.
Blerdsnerds.
Do you think that Wanda's actually going to be a villain in this movie now? I don't know, because it's hard to know. Like what?
So.
I don't think so either.
I think she's gonna be.
If there's evil Doctor Strange, then Wanda being a villain as well, it's just going to be villain chaos.
Evil Doctor Strange. We also
I
saw
feel like
Shuma Gorath in there too. I feel like there's a lot going on for her to also be like a part of that.
I feel like everybody has like a good and bad side. Like the only people that don't is like Captain America. like she did some messed up stuff, but now she's gonna do some good stuff. You know, Doctor Strange is kind of like that sometimes. He's selfish sometimes.
But I know that a lot of people were guessing that this movie was gonna follow like the House of M storyline, which was about Wanda and her descent into madness. But I feel like now that I saw that trailer, I don't know if that's primarily what this movie is going to be about, but I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see.
Hopefully we get a Kang cameo.
I know. You know what? The more that the multiverse stuff unfolds, I'm like, are we really not going to see? I feel like we're really not going to see Kang again until Loki season 2 or Ant-Man, Quantumania in 2023. I feel like we're not going to see him again because like where are we going to see him? I read that. Well, maybe actually, because I read like early on that Loki is supposed to also appear in Doctor Strange. I don't know how true that is, but whatever. I don't know. I think I'm gonna get off the fan theories now. The fan theories were right for Spider-Man, but I don't know. I'm not gonna live by them anymore because I don't know. Like
that was like
a
one in a million.
Yeah.
Just to make myself feel better, the Spider-Man in the Avenger game is complete trash. They're saying. Like horrible. So,
well,
there's that.
All right, so I don't want to move too. Do you have any more thoughts on the movie before we like move off? No, okay. So like, what do you guys rate Spider-Man on a 1 to 10? This
11.
That's pretty much. It's got to get a 10.
So good.
It was good.
Yeah, it was a solid 10.
Like it has to get a 9.9. Like I don't know if I could give anything a perfect.
Yeah. What more could you have wanted, honestly?
Like it was yeah.
It literally met every single expectation.
I'm trying to rank it out of all the Marvel movies, and it's if it's not the top one, it's in my top 3.
I think it's the top one. I think it's the best Marvel movie that we've gotten. Honestly,
it was there. It was up there.
Yeah. And I've listened to some other podcasts where like they are comparing it and they don't think it's better than like Endgame or something like that. And I'm trying to compare where I feel like Endgame was a great movie, obviously. It was amazing. But I feel like people took issue still with a couple of things that happened in Endgame. Like the whole time travel plot. I know that people were upset about that. And like there were a lot of things that like people I feel like had issue with, even though it still turned out to be a good movie. Whereas this movie, I feel like it was perfect. I feel like there was nothing wrong with it. I feel like there's nothing to complain about. I feel like the plot was literally perfect.
And another thing I think it's better than Endgame and Infinity War, being that you have to watch both those movies for it to even come close to being better than the Spider-Man movie. Like if you just watch those separate, it doesn't come close to Spider-Man. You would have to watch Endgame, Infinity War, and Endgame together for even it to be in the category. Because
yeah. And Endgame, I don't even know if Endgame ends up in my top 3, honestly, because I loved Endgame, but I feel like I liked Infinity War better than I liked Endgame, to be honest. So I feel like Infinity War is in my top 3. But I don't know if Endgame's in my top 3 of Marvel movies. I think my top 3 are still Spider-Man. It has moved to number 1. Spider-Man's my top 1. And then Infinity War and Civil War in there. I don't know what order, but I think those are like my 3 favorite Marvel movies.
But if you have to take the Avengers movies, like the team up out,
like, individual movies, Captain America Winter Soldier. I love that movie.
Probably Black Panther, maybe.
Black Panther. Yeah, Black Panther. Yeah. Yeah, I think those two are in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one literally had everything. There was like nothing wrong with it. It was literally a perfect movie. Who thought that was possible, right? It was literally perfect. I took no issue. But so like what's in your top 3? Let's hear both of you guys.
And mine?
And both, yeah. Who goes first? What's in your top 3?
It would have to be Spider-Man. I'm thinking Iron Man 2.
Ooh, Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 is in your top 3?
Let me see. I'm trying to think. One of the Iron Mans are. If it's not, I think it's the second one, to be honest.
Second Iron Man was horrible. Sorry.
Maybe the third one. No, wait. Was the second one where it had all the clones of the
That was that was the third one.
Yeah, I didn't like the third one that much. So it was either the first or the second one. All right, but anyway, Spider-Man, I'm trying to think of the other movies. But Black Panther's up there. What are your favorites, James? Well, I think of it.
I'll go Spider-Man, and Spider-Man.
Yes.
Okay, that's
I agree
with that list right there.
Wait. You're talking about all 3 of Tom Holland Spider-Mans are in your top 3?
Yeah.
And nothing else?
Anything with Spider-Man that has the word home in it, it's in my top 3.
No Infinity War, no Endgame. Right, wait. What's your top 5? What's your top 5 then?
Top 5. So after that, we got I like Black Panther a lot. And then Civil War.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so you didn't wow. So Infinity War, neither Infinity War nor Endgame is in your top.
No, I mean they're cool, but they're not Spider-Man.
Captain America Captain America Winter Soldier is different than Civil War, right?
Yeah, Captain America Winter Soldier is the second one. Civil War is the third one.
I like Winter Soldier a lot. That might be in my.
Winter Soldier was good. Captain America has one of the best franchises, I think, and Spider-Man is probably my favorite like character franchise out of all of Marvel. All 3 of the Spider-Man movies were really good. So
anybody for Ant-Man?
What?
Ant-Man's not in your top?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, so my top 5 is Spider-Man, Infinity War, Civil War, Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Black Panther are probably in my top. That's my top 5.
Mm-hmm. That's not a bad top 5.
Mm-hmm. And then Jaja, you gotta finish yours. What's your top 5 now?
It's Winter Soldier, Civil War, Spider-Man. That was 3. I'm gonna give you those 3.
All right, you don't have another 2. Okay.
Wow, you guys really. I don't want to give another 2 because I have to give thought into it. Because
Infinity War and Endgame don't end anywhere on your top 5.
I don't think they should count. And even if they did, no, because I feel like those 2 movies separate to me are like I can't.
No, I mean. Together. I love it. I know I can watch Infinity War on its own, and I have watched Infinity War on its own without watching Endgame several times. Like I feel like Infinity War.
The fact that Infinity War ended on a cliffhanger kills it for me. It's like it's not a complete story.
I mean, I guess so, but I feel like the movie was good. Endgame, I feel like Endgame was good, but I feel like
amazing.
Yeah, it was, but I feel like I had some cringe moments in Endgame, and like in the battle scene at the end. So I feel like that kills it a little bit for me. There were no cringe moments in Spider-Man. I loved every moment of Spider-Man.
You know how many times I watched the second half of Endgame just to see that epic freaking. You know that poster that has all the Marvel characters on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I thought about when I see that scene. It's just like everybody's there. Oh yes, that scene is awesome. But I can't do them. It has to go with Infinity War because I'm sorry, I can't. So that's why I don't even look at the Avengers when I judge these movies. I just the solo films against the solo films.
Okay, I mean that makes sense. But I love a good team up. Team ups are my favorite. So I like when stories come together to make another like big story. So as we can see here, this was a perfect crossover. Everyone should take notes.
When they were all swinging together. That first time they all were in the scene swinging together, just doing their tricks and stuff. Yo, I have to see this movie again in theaters. I have to. Yeah,
no, I'm definitely planning on seeing it again, just because I have to. when Black Panther came out, I saw Black Panther like 4 times. I saw Infinity War in the theater like 5 times. I saw Endgame like twice. I didn't really see that much, but I do plan on, just in fashion of that, I do have to see this movie multiple times. This time when I see it again, I think I'm gonna try to see it in 40x just because I've always wanted to see a 40x movie. So I feel like this is a good one to see. So I'm gonna try to see it in 40x again, and I'll probably see it again. Why not? I have an AMC A-list pass. I can go as many times as I want to.
Listen, I made reservations for Friday and Saturday just in case I wasn't gonna make it on Friday, which happened. I didn't make it on Friday and I went Saturday. And it didn't hurt nobody. Somebody had extra room when they went to go see the movie. That's all.
Exactly. So I'm definitely gonna see it again. It's definitely worth seeing multiple times. Anyway, so we're real quick. So I feel like there was something else I wanted to do before the box office numbers. Oh, okay, real quick about spoilers. So I know that people have been trying really hard to stay away from spoilers for Spider-Man, and people have to be careful what kind of memes they post, like, because like the littlest thing could be a spoiler. And like, I just want to know, when do you guys think it's acceptable to start like in social media forums and stuff like that? When do you guys think it's acceptable to start openly talking about what happened in the movie? You know what I mean? Because people are trying to like be very reserved about what they say in comments and stuff like that. But when do you think it's okay to just like openly talk about it without everyone getting angry?
I feel like there needs to be a feature. Like, I think they had it on Instagram, like where you can press this picture. It has like a spoiler warning. Like,
I know they have that on Reddit for sure.
Yeah.
So if you click into it, knowing that it's a spoiler, it's you.
Yeah, but my thing is that, like, because they're posting. I see like a whole bunch of memes and like I see a whole bunch of like articles, but my thing is that if it's anything related to Spider-Man, like just don't look at the comment section because you're most likely going to see a spoiler. You know what I mean? Let the people talk about it. People definitely want to talk about the
comments. Then
you're asking for it.
Yeah, but I saw one. So like one comic, like one Marvel fan page posted something about the box office numbers, but the picture that they used had like all 3 Spider-Men in it, and I'm just like, that's a spoiler. Like, you shouldn't post something like that. Like, that's a little much. That's a direct spoiler. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, people need to like watch like what they're doing. But like, when do you think it's okay to like post that openly? You know what I mean? Like, how much time has to go by before you can post a picture of 3 Spider-Men in the same photo?
When it comes out the movie theater.
When it comes out of the movie theater in a month, in 2 months?
Yeah.
No.
Well, so I think this one is a different situation because in the pandemic, like not everyone's comfortable going to the movie theaters. Mm-hmm. So some people are probably waiting until it gets to Disney Plus, which who knows? I don't think it's going to Disney Plus. Speed it up.
Because none of the Spider-Man movies are on Disney Plus because it's a Sony movie. I think that they're on Amazon Prime Video.
People, but
this one's coming to Disney Plus.
I don't think this one's coming to Disney Plus.
Yeah, so since
I would be surprised if it didn't.
But a
lot of people aren't going at all to the theaters.
Homecoming and Far From Home are not on Disney Plus.
You sure?
Mm-hmm. They're not. I checked the other day. They're not. They're on Amazon. They're both on Amazon Prime Video. They're not on Disney Plus. Because technically it's not. It's like it's a Sony movie. Like, even though Marvel, it's a Sony property. So I feel like that's where Sony drew the line. I feel like they're just, they partnered with them, but I feel like they're not gonna let them have it for Disney Plus. Are you looking, James?
Yeah. So these articles are just saying why it's not on Disney Plus. Let's see where to stream.
Amazon Prime Video, right? Because I remember I rented Spider-Man Homecoming on Amazon Prime Video to watch one time.
Yeah, it says Prime Video, iTunes, and Vudu.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, Disney Plus. Sony's not giving it to Disney Plus. Sony's not giving it to Disney Plus.
And Australian Netflix.
Ooh, Netflix in Australia. I feel like every other country's Netflix is better than the US Netflix. I just want to point that out. They have better stuff.
So it's on Netflix. It's just not in the US's Netflix. That's interesting.
Yeah, you gotta get that VPN.
And they said if you have a local DVD rental place, you can get it from there.
Blockbuster. DVD rental places, do those even still exist?
Yeah, I do see Redboxes still. So
Redbox. I forgot all about that. Okay. But yeah, so I mean, I'm just gonna buy it. Like, when it comes out on Amazon Prime Video to own, like, I'm just gonna buy it so I always have it. Like, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do. Actually, I'm gonna buy all 3 of them and just have that.
You're gonna buy it so that you always have it until Amazon decides to shut down Amazon Video.
GDPR
That's true. You know what? You're right.
They say your account is inactive, Just delete your movie.
You
I'm
gotta
gonna buy.
the
You know what?
steelbook version.
I'm gonna buy the. Yes, I'm gonna buy a steelbook. If they release a steelbook like box set with all three of them, I'm gonna buy that for sure. I'm just gonna do that and
That's
just have it.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah. And I hope that steelbook comes with like digital copies of the movie also, because you know how some DVDs it comes with like a digital download and a disc. I feel like they need to do that. So I'll
Some
have it on
collector's
both.
items. Hopefully, you can
Yeah.
beat the bots to it if it comes with a collector's item.
Oh my god, the stupid bots. Of course. But let's go over the box office numbers. So just for the Thursday and Friday opening, the movie has raked in domestically 121.5 million from just Thursday and Friday. So the whole weekend box office are not out yet, but that's just from 2 days, which is impressive. So compared to Infinity War opened with 257.6 million, but I think that's for the whole weekend. And Endgame, which is still the highest grossing film opening of all time, opened with 357.1 million for the whole weekend. So, I mean, it's not far behind. I feel like when the box office numbers close today, if it was just at 121 on Thursday and Friday, I feel like it might come close. It might have surpassed or come close to surpassing at least the Infinity War opening. So we'll see. But it did really good. And for a pandemic like that we're in the middle of, we have a new variant, numbers are climbing again. I feel like that's really impressive opening box office number. Yeah. So, and I feel like it definitely would have been more.
You should see how it did compared to like Shang-Chi and Black Widow.
Oh yeah, let's see. And I feel like if we weren't in a pandemic, I feel like the numbers might have surpassed at least Infinity War for Thursday and Friday. Yeah. Let's see. Shang-Chi domestic opening box office.
This is probably going to be like the benchmark for movies going forward, like what you want to hit if you're a really good movie during pandemic. You know what I mean? Like they have to they got to rework all those numbers.
All right. So Black Widow opened with 183.4 the opening weekend. Wait, or is that all time? Hold on. Shang-Chi accomplished. Okay. The success of Shang-Chi at the domestic box office. No, I'm talking about. No, I want to know the opening. Shang-Chi is just. Somebody just give me a number. Why do I have to read through a whole article? Just post the number right there.
I mean, if you want, we could get those numbers together for the next pod.
Yeah. Okay. Wait.
The domestic and then the international.
Okay, so on opening day, Shang-Chi grossed 29.6 million.
Okay. And that's domestic or international?
That was domestic on opening day. But I don't even know how are they just judging that off of oh wait, was Shang-Chi only in theaters or was it also on Disney Plus?
Yeah, it was only in theaters, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, theaters.
Okay. But how do they even compare that? So for something like Black Widow, are they only counting? Because Black Widow was on Disney Plus and in theaters, right?
It was only in theaters because I had to wait to watch it on Disney Plus for.
You're right. It was only in theaters also. Okay. I forgot. Okay, yeah. So Shang-Chi only earned 94 million during the 4-day weekend. So it's way behind Spider-Man. So which only has way more in just the 2 days. And then I think Black Widow. What did Black Widow do?
Not enough.
Opening weekend numbers. Let's see. 80 million. So Spider-Man has blown both of those movies out of the water. Rightfully so.
Yeah, and the weekend's not even over yet. So
the weekend's not over. People are gonna see it like multiple times. I'm sure that everyone who's seen Spider-Man is gonna see it again. James, do you plan on seeing it again?
Yep. If I still got my T-Mobile Tuesday $4 ticket,
go on Tuesday. Go see it.
Let me double check. Let me see if it's still available.
I'm definitely gonna. I feel like every single person who saw Spider-Man is gonna want to see it again. If you don't see it again, I mean, I don't know. You might not want to see it again, but like because of the pandemic. But like, I feel like a lot of people are gonna see it again. A lot of people are still waiting to see it. I feel like this movie is gonna do phenomenal. Like, I want to see if it passes Endgame, which is like number one. I think it's number one in highest grossing films like of all time. Which I think like all Disney movies are like in the top 5. But I wonder if Spider-Man is gonna like pass. It's gonna like be at number 1 by the time that it's done with its theater run. I guess we'll see. I think it will. So we'll watch the box office in the coming weeks. For anyone that didn't like this movie or had issue with this movie, I kind of want them to email us, and I kind of want to bring on somebody who didn't like the movie on the podcast so that they can argue their side of the story. Because I feel like I haven't seen like any bad things about it, but I feel like I saw a couple comments that were like, "Oh, this movie was disappointing," and I don't understand like how it could have how like it could be disappointing.
Yeah, I definitely
like,
want to talk to that person. Like, what did you want? What did you want to see?
Come on the podcast and let's have a debate about it, because I don't understand how like any part of the movie could disappoint.
I just want to listen.
Yeah,
Tell me what you wanted to see.
Yeah, enlighten us. But yeah, just so impressed by Sony and Marvel. Great job. Everyone, good job keeping your secrets. Because Andrew Garfield was out here denying it hard, talking about people are going to be disappointed because their expectations are so high. And I'm just like, you know what? You guys are good liars. You guys are great liars. Between him and Jonathan Majors, when he lied about his Kang appearance in Loki, the secrets are so the secret keeping is great. So congrats, guys. Congrats.
I wonder if that's in the contract now. Like, hey, you spoil it, we take money from you.
There has to be some kind of repercussions, because I know Tom Holland spoiled he let a lot of secrets go for Infinity War and for Endgame. And he was like known for not, him and Mark Ruffalo were like known for not being able to keep secrets. So I feel like I'm very surprised that he didn't spoil anything for this movie. So whatever they told him or like whatever talk they had with him seems to have been working. So yeah.
And everybody else.
All right, guys. Any final thoughts on the movie?
Go see it.
Yeah, go see it. If you haven't, I mean, if you have, I'm just assuming you're not listening to this if you haven't seen it, because we're obviously talking about it. But
yeah, go see it again.
Go see it again. Jaja, what about you? Do you have any final thoughts?
Real quick, I thought about something funny. Shout out to my people with sleep apnea, because you got to sleep with that stupid machine that Happy was wearing, and a lot more people have it than people realize.
Yeah,
pretty much
I know somebody that has sleep apnea too. Yeah. That was funny.
I thought it was cool that they included that.
Where do you guys think? So, like, a lot of people are saying that in the next trilogy of Spider-Man, he's gonna meet like Gwen and stuff like that, and like do like basically live out the version of his life that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was living, in this own universe. What do you guys think? Andrew, when he's in college and like he's working in the real world and like doing all this other stuff.
I have no predictions right now for that. They could do whatever they want.
It's way too soon. Yeah. It can go anywhere. It can go anywhere with anything. I'm just really excited.
Whatever direction he wants to go to, he can go do whatever he wants. Spider-Man, he's a free man. He ain't locked down to nobody.
I'm just really scared because like this Spider-Man is like set a bar really high, and now people are going to be expecting a lot from the future Spider-Man movies. So I just hope that they can top what they've already. I hope they can top this. So we'll see. Mm-hmm. But yeah, thank you, because like this movie was like a great combination of fan service and also good storytelling. And I feel like when you see a lot of things that are like more focused on fan service, you kind of lose out on like the plot and stuff like that. But like this had a great balance of both, and it all worked really well. So it was great. It was great. It was an amazing movie. But yeah. If there is nothing else, then you guys can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Blerdsnerds, send us an email, blerdsnerds@gmail.com, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and rate, review, and subscribe on your podcast listening app of choice. As always, I'm Shannon.
I'm James.
I'm Jaja.
Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
Peace.